Yeah, don't give it.
Yeah, I really, don't have, I can't see that.
I don't see it either.
What don't you see?
And my cell reception's like horrible right here. I didn't realize it was that bad. So you can see it though?
It's just one bar.
What do you have? Town hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is two printers.
I just see direct 17.
Yeah, I got direct 17 and direct 49.
I get direct 87 too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what everybody's talking
The Wi-Fi,
about. Oh,
it's not hitting my phone in here at least. Did they change something around too with the,
It shouldn't be what it shows up as.
yeah, it's not even really showing up here at all.
Nope.
Can you see it on your phone?
As an available network.
I'm not gonna say.
No, don't say it.
No, I'm not saying say it, but I mean, the network's not even there.
It's hidden, gotta be hidden.
Can't even see it.
You
But-
can't see that one?
No?
Can you?
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah, what? That's bizarre.
Right there?
Okay, no, that doesn't come up.
Yeah.
So it's hidden.
Well, can it be hidden?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gotta be hidden.
Well, I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, without doing any.
See, I got the directs.
You can see it, but you don't have it on your phone, do you?
I just don't know the password.
Oh.
Mm.
We're on
I
TV,
tried
so
Pine
everybody's
Tree
watching
Riot
it.
and it didn't work.
Well, once someone with an iPhone's got a password, you can share it around all you want.
Oh, jeez.
I forgot what it was, Naomi.
That's a good
It
one.
was stupid before.
I know.
9 9s and a 2.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, you get it.
you need all of this wide?
Well, if you're looking at something there, it's on the Wi-Fi versus the,
I'm not gonna try.
He's got T-Mobile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they connect.
I don't have my phone in, I'll bring it in with me.
Yeah, but
Maybe I take it in. Sorry, folks.
that shouldn't really have
You
anything
feel
to do
legal
with it,
now?
right? Is that an iPhone?
I can really perform now.
Oh.
And audience member, you would be Peter?
No.
No, Peter's not here.
Peter's not here. You are,
You're in?
Yep.
I'm Jock, Jock Manager.
okay.
Nice
So what do you do
audience.
if you can't see it?
J-A-C-Q-U-E-S?
Correct.
I think that's the phone.
He's supposed to be Peter. No, Peter.
Sure, layman on my phone.
You're on behalf. All right. It is 7:15. I will call to order the May 10th, 2023 meeting of the Weare Conservation Commission. We have everybody here this evening, first time in a long time. I'm the chairman, Andy Fulton. To my left is Steve Nager, our vice chair, Michael Camacho, our secretary, and to my right, we have members Sherry Burdick, Mark Phillips, and Ray LeMay. So thank you all for being here. Sorry for my delay in arriving and my homework to do on the side. So we have a couple specific items on the agenda tonight. We have some other things to consider. Does anybody have anything on the agenda for tonight that did not make the agenda?
Yeah, the Fair and Pond access didn't go on there, they moved it.
Under forestry items, we'll throw in fair and pond access.
did you also get the email on that Woods family? ATV usage on the Woods?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just-
Under land management, we've got ATV.
Can you see the picture of
Yeah,
it?
just gotta scroll up.
Oops, I did,
They're running, see the lot, see the,
Okay, thank you.
Did we get done with county, or are we still waiting on, yeah, county land?
We need to hear whether we got that to Laura and what Laura had to say on that, is, as I recall, where we're at.
You all set? That's too much information.
Okay, thank you for those couple details on that. We do have a guest tonight, and as is our habit, we'd like to have our guests come up to the podium, share your item, let us know what we can do, let us,
Get the package in front of Andy.
all right, these are,
That's,
The
no,
f-
that's one,
that's-
that's him right there.
Go on the red.
There's
Okay.
several of them. You can pass them, but
Yep.
there's not enough for each.
I guess we'll share that one, Sherry.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yep.
That shared driveway.
Yep.
You got that plan on the email.
Yep.
Go right ahead.
All right, thank you for having me tonight. My name is Jacques Belanger. I'm the surveyor that's preparing this subdivision for the Richardsons off of Colby Road. Looking at 38 acres of land. It's got a bit of wetlands pretty much sprinkled throughout of it, and a narrow access point. What we're doing is trying to subdivide the lot into two residential house lots, one of 21 acres, and the other is 16 acres or so, with a common drive out back. We're looking at two impact areas for wetlands to get out back there. One pretty much directly off of Colby Road, and then the second, just as the lot starts to widen out. What we've done is, we've tried to minimize the impact to the wetlands as much as possible. If you're familiar with the land, it's been recently logged, and it's kind of, they had a logging access crossing that front wetlands. Both our impact areas, the one out back is a little over 600 square feet of impact, and then we have the buffer impact of 1,500 square feet. And then the one out front, which is requiring a bit more of an impact, we get some steep slopes coming in on both sides of it. Our wetlands is 894, our wetland impact is 894, and our buffer impact is 2,400 feet. Again, both these locations are to try to minimize as much as possible the impacts, and by doing a common driveway. We've already submitted to DES for this, so I guess coming before you, see if you have any concerns or questions we can take care of.
This is a standard application or an expedited, or minimum expedited?
It would have been a minimum expedited if we'd come to you and get some comments from the board, but I think because it went in before we came to see you, it gets bumped to a regular review.
Okay. So what you've submitted in these packages is for information only?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. Now, just being a little redundant here. Appreciate you following through. Sorry things didn't work out to expedite things last month. It has been pointed out, we haven't seen one of these. Probably maybe one last year.
Oh,
I mean, we're,
Wetlands permit?
yeah, we've,
Honestly, I haven't done a wetlands application, our company, in quite some time. Usually the wetland scientist does it.
Yeah.
A soil scientist, and we just can't seem to get them to follow through with. They
Yeah.
like to hang flags, but to do the paperwork sometimes is a little tough.
How big do you think each contiguous area on each lot is?
Colby Road, yeah.
Over an acre?
Oh, yeah. The lots are large, it's kind of a cluttered plan, there's a lot of stuff going on, it's 100 scale, and, you know, the guy that drafted it put a little effort into hatching stuff, and I think it gets a little too busy and hard to see. But, the building area for the lot, I guess on the westerly side, would be pretty much as we come around the corner, right behind, right there, really. That's well over an acre of land, of contiguous upland. And then the second one, same thing, it's right where the lot widens out. I mean, you can move around out there,
Is he talking
but
here?
other than trying to find. a
Building
site
envelope
for a
over
house
here
or
and over
something,
here.
Stay out of the buffers, really.
So, in all likelihood, the dwellings would be close together,
Yeah,
as opposed to,
No,
trying to put something back behind the larger wetlands, or
Oh, yeah,
working
yeah.
the way back towards it looks like a stream or brook across the back end.
Yeah, I think everything would definitely be up front. It's just, honestly, it's too costly to go out any further. They're already traveling out there
How many-
700-800 feet.
Yeah.
And
A
running
roadway.
utilities and driveway it's quite expensive.
Split the cost between them.
Yeah, well, it's a lot. We're looking at a common drive easement. I don't think you guys have that sheet, but, yeah.
So these people are just looking to each build a house there, their family, and their,
No, well, it's a family member that,
Yeah.
a father, son, and
Really wet.
husband, wives.
Really way over
own it
here.
together, and
Steep
they,
going down here.
they buy the land and they subdivide,
Drops
they log
off.
it and subdivide it, and they'll split the lot off. They're not
Quite a
building their
ledge,
own
but-
houses.
Pretty steep incline.
It's almost getting to its, kind of unusual for land to be subdivided, where regular people can buy it afterwards. It
Right.
seems like developers do it and then they build the houses themselves.
yeah.
Are you on the agenda for zoning in the wetlands buffer
Not yet,
variance?
no, we're gonna,
Okay. You want to get the wetlands squared away first,
We're-
and then,
yeah, we're gonna follow the steps. We're not gonna try to get ahead of it, because that just seems to bite us every time. We'll get through wetlands first, make sure we get our permit, then we'll apply to zoning for our buffer impacts. And then if that one works, then we go to planning board.
okay. So the model that you're working on is get the state permit first, and then move to the,
Yeah.
To the
then go
town.
zoning. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, town level. We had a couple that we tried kind of running simultaneously, and it just all collapsed. So it's,
This is the lot where they already cleared the trees. And
Yeah.
did a little bit of work on the driveway just to get in, right?
correct, yeah, they, I believe they did get a permit for logging purposes to put that crossing in.
Yeah.
They actually logged it off a lot, because it looked pretty wet out there.
I've only seen the entrance, I haven't gone out back, I don't know how much they cleared. But I think it's one of those things, I think they waited till leave this, I think in the summer to log it, I'm not sure when they logged it, what time of year it was.
Well, unless they had access from somewhere else, they couldn't have logged too much, because they didn't really use the driveway to come out anyway.
Honestly, I haven't been back there, I don't know, yeah, not since we first looked at it.
Naomi, do we see this again when it goes to planning board? So, Jacques, one of our comments likely at that point, might as well throw it out there now. We see the wetland certification note, but we'd like to see the stamp on a plan where that wetland scientist is responsible for this delineation. I don't know that Wetlands Bureau requires that for their purposes, but it's something we look for.
Yeah, it'll be on the final plan. For the recorded one.
Go ahead, Steve.
I think the map legend is kind of missing some of the symbology here, if I'm not mistaken.
Buffer lines.
These symbols are not there, the
There's
ones they use
quite
for
a bit of
wetland.
Space there,
Yeah.
but both houses are gonna have to be right close together.
Yep.
Like, we don't, on the legend, there's nothing specific to wetland.
Houses close together.
Sure.
they
Don't think.
themselves.
Yeah, we'll add the line type and the And the symbol for the flags, sure.
Subdivision.
We changed,
Problem is,
we
once
started
they
this project, I
sell
think, in
someone,
'21.
Yeah,
How do you
And,
enforce
we've
that
changed
that
our
someone, if they
templates
don't
quite a
like
bit.
a house too
I
close
think
to
this
each
house
other,
on
they
standard
decide
sheets
to
now,
go
just
back
to make
in?
it
They
to this
can't,
one.
it's too wet.
yeah.
No, what if they decide they don't?
Well, they gotta get approval, I don't think they're gonna get approval with that much wet.
You're not gonna, this lot here, you can go back a little more, but you're gonna do it up there, that's fine. This one's impossible,
Yeah,
you couldn't get through all that.
yep.
You couldn't get up to here, or is that the wetland there?
That's wet,
Oh, well,
that's very wet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
topography is not favorable either to, so it, in all likelihood, it becomes a cluster by default.
Yeah.
And, you know, good neighbors, that can work out just fine.
Well, look how close they are in Goffstown.
Yeah.
You can reach your arm out and touch the next house to you.
This plan is at 100 scale, so I mean,
Yeah, they're in the area.
there's some space between them still.
Landscape and all sorts of good stuff. Take,
Especially the houses are closest to me,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a long driveway.
Yeah. But there's nothing else you can do, that's the size of the lot,
Yep.
so they have to get into the big part. Two little wetland crossings along the way, but that's
Nice slope.
difficult. And you can see the buffer impacts. But what else are you gonna do? And that's pretty steep, right, you can see the contour line. So you're just staying closer to the more level areas here. If you put it here, you're off the side of a big hill. So, you don't wanna do that.
Water, it's all wet.
Yeah, those pictures were taken probably maybe a month or 2 months ago, so it's still pretty sloppy out there.
So at this point, we don't really have a role in this. So, planning board, right?
No, and I don't see any kind of red flags either.
yeah, it's an opportunity if we were to pick up on something that's a concern, to share that concern with Wetlands Bureau.
Is there anything with the getting the wetlands permit, that it can be expedited from the conservation commission?
No, we would have had to come get a letter from you guys ahead of time before we made our application.
Okay.
then
And thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yep.
Some of these abutters have probably changed since this was written.
I think one of them has,
Yeah, I know one for a fact that house sold and somebody else lives here now.
okay, and, yeah, I had another call from a woman too that, can't think of the term, but, I don't wanna say guardian, but she was,
Trustee?
yeah, she was a trustee for her father or something out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's the one that sold, maybe that's what it was. But I have talked to, I think, two of the neighbors actually. An older woman called me on Saturday, and the guy across the street wanted to know why he was being noticed. And I explained it to him, and then answered a couple questions about his property, so.
Any further comments, suggestions, recommendations, opinions, concerns? I see none. All right.
All right,
Thank
okay, well,
you,
thanks for hearing me.
thank you, Jacques. Are these of use to you at this point?
No,
Okay.
I mean, other people here in the file somehow.
Sure.
All right, well, have a good night. Thank you.
You too. Appreciate your patience. All right, next item, we have
It's just that other plan, Brian. No one came for that.
a site plan for Gutter Done LLC, 701 Concord Stage Road. Purpose of the plan is to construct a new 3,200 square foot commercial building for gutter installation.
There's no two buildings, though. The wording says two buildings, is one being constructed. Because if you look at the purpose of the plan, on the plan, and what's drawn on the plan is two different things. So the owner cleared that up today. There's no
So-
two buildings, there's only one.
The house?
Is what we're looking at here
The
non-representative?
Pictures of it is correct. They've got to fix the wording on the purpose.
Okay.
But the actual plan with the one building is correct. It's just in the notes, it talks about two buildings. That was their plan, but they went back off on their plan. to one building.
And is this one that we have seen before? Or are we, do we have multiple gutter businesses on Concord Stage Road?
No,
No.
there's only one. Right next
We
to
looked
the
at that
77
once before.
Same one that
Yeah.
we saw this over a year ago, I think.
They came in
Last spring, I think it was.
because they went to go to ZBA for a while. To get to the driveway out back encroached on the buffer, so they got a ZBA variance for that.
So they left it the way the original plan was drawn, and they just got a variance then?
I believe so.
Okay. Because the plan wasn't bad to start with.
No. So we got an existing conditions plot and then a site plan. And this looks substantially changed from the earlier conceptuals, is that true, Naomi, based on what you have seen on it?
I really haven't studied it much.
Okay.
I don't think when they came the first time, they were talking about the 3,200 square foot commercial building. They were just talking about using the building that was already there, which was a small little house. You know where it is, it's,
Remember,
Yeah.
right next to 77 Motors.
yeah.
They moved two small barns, or,
Sheds.
there now.
Those are temporary.
Yeah.
But they're looking at a 3,200 foot
In the back.
commercial building in the back.
I believe the problem was the swale, was the access road, was gonna impede on the swale, because that was listed as wetlands.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ditch.
Yeah.
And in a ditch, you can grow wetland plants, and you have wetland plants, you have jurisdictional wetland.
Yeah.
So the current proposal shows the reason for the variance. So driveway will clip the wetland buffer, but it's certainly,
The driveway's already in, unless they move it. The house has been there for.
well, the house, yeah, this point here, there'll be a little bit more going out there. But interesting. Office building stays out in the front, and then the workshop goes in the back with some different parking back there. And this is just upgrading of the storage. They're gonna put a lot of pavement down that's not there, so they're gonna need to manage storm drain.
Wasn't there a restriction on how much impervious in that zoning that you could do? Remember that came up before? Because that's in that aquifer district.
Was that, you're thinking about the next place down, the,
It's in the same zoning district, though.
yeah, the
Yeah,
next
we
place right
talked
below
about-
it.
Yeah. We had this discussion. That's
Yeah.
gotta be way too much pavement for what's allowed in that zoning area.
And then when you have that much pavement, aren't you supposed to make some kind of a treatment pond or detention pond or something?
Yeah, I just think you couldn't. I think in the zoning, I don't know if that would be another variance, but that's gotta be, I think that's in the site plan or the zoning reg. It's in one of them.
I don't know. I mean, all the commercial jobs I've worked on in the past few years, they all have some sort of a treatment basin.
Swale, yeah.
If you're gonna have impervious material, asphalt, you have to have something to treat that water.
Yeah, but above and beyond that, that was like an aquifer district in our zoning, which made it different. It was like a weird spot to have that. But, so you can pull it up.
So March 7th, zoning variance was granted for the driveway.
Do they have it marked on there which district they're in? Which zoning? What's that?
Commercial.
But isn't the aquifer also overlaying that commercial?
Well, it abuts that 3.1, and that 3.1, that was all wet, all behind that one too.
Yeah. Where is that? Aquifer protection location.
I didn't think there was good sand and gravel in that area, though, isn't it, where they put the
I think along there is pretty deep.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty gravelly.
Yeah. All right, so there's a map entitled Town of Weare Aquifer Transmissivity.
Construct detention pond, 3-foot hold. Bottom at 528, top of berm at 531.
So if they do have one design, then,
Yeah.
okay.
And looks like
Downhill side.
Yeah.
a level spreader on the outlet.
We're covered there, then.
Then I construct berm at the 531 on the downslope side of the lot. Oh, pave service might be about 30% of the lot.
Any use that will render impervious surface more than 10% or 2,500 square feet of lot. Greater. Stormwater drainage plan shall be prepared.
Does the town have a map of these zones, these areas?
Yeah, we just gotta find it. They just referred to some 2009 map. Yeah, let's see if it's even in it first.
Andy, what's the red thing in the back there? On the plan, that red area?
That's the new.
That's a new building.
That's a new 3,200 square foot building?
Yeah.
In size relation and the house there,
Yeah.
oh, the house is over here.
Well, the neighbor house is here.
No, that
No.
house is,
The
yeah,
existing
the existing.
house, which
What's the
are
big white area then?
Looks like lawn, green space
Grass?
maybe.
some sort of,
I mean, they could have moved that building out down in here somewhere. I mean, they're using the house as an office. Well, that's what they had said.
It's a master plan.
we've got a lighting plan. Pad for the dumpster. Plan to use Filtrex silt socks.
Does it say or equal?
I do not see that verbiage. All material, this is a notes to meet Filtrex specs. Silt socks fill to meet application requirements. Compost material to be dispersed on site as determined by engineer. Jute matting to be North American green, SC 150BN or equivalent. Vegetation, seeding, mulching, erosion control mix. Dust control, temporary erosion control. How to use hay bales. Construction sequence. Cut and clear trees. Construct temporary sediment and erosion control. Clear, cut, and dispose of debris. Construct ponds, swales, and drainage. Construct building pad, parking areas. Begin permanent and temporary seeding. Construct temporary diversion channels. Construct temporary berms, inspect and maintain all erosion and sediment measures weekly. Complete permanent seeding, remove temporary erosion control. Does anybody know whether a detention basin is designed to hold and evaporate or hold and infiltrate?
Retention basin retains it.
Detention basin.
Detention
Sorry.
basin just detains it temporarily to let the silt settle out, and then the overflow either percolates into the ground or goes over the spillway. So there's a retention basin and a detention basin. If they're calling for a detention basin, they're just detaining it for a while.
So it sinks under the ground.
It can either sink into the ground or it can get filtered out and go out the spillway. And the way they're generally designed, the dirty water goes in one end and it gives the silt enough time to settle out before, if you had a big huge rainstorm, 9 times out of 10, a detention basin never overflows. Even though it's a detention basin, the water stays in there below the spillway, the silt settles out and you're good to go. But on a huge rain event or a spring runoff, it may overtop it and go out. But the way that they're designed, all the dirty water is designed to come in one end, so by the time it overflows the spillway, it's clean.
Well, that must not be what they have down there before you get to Lang Tots, because that pond was full and flooding the
That's a
parking
mess.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
mess.
that's just
That was
holding,
flooding the whole parking lot
Yeah.
there, part of it, one side of it.
Yeah, I never would've thought that would've happened there.
Well, you got the hill right behind you, and there's a lot of water come down off
yeah,
that.
it's just bank full all the time, it seems.
I thought it was gravelly, I thought it would just percolate away, but it does not.
I found a
Well,
one.
and you got all the water right across the road, it's all swamp.
So, here's the point, if it's full of water and you have another good rain event, you're not slowing down
So is it down
the
there?
discharge from your paved surface. It's gonna go off in a
It's
hurry.
gonna go off in a hurry, so when you're trying to do a detention basin, is spread out that
Yeah,
flow.
but they refer to-
So hopefully it will settle.
Where's B&B
the silt will
laying on
settle
this?
out before the water flows out. It's a
Right there,
cleaning
yeah, see,
structure.
it's in it.
You'll see on some plans, a lot of the engineers will design a squiggly swale after it leaves the detention basin, and it's almost level. So if it does overflow, it has to go through this long area to slow the water down and let it settle out.
But there's gonna be something wrong there, because you knocked that one out in front.
The one over there you're talking about, yeah, there's
That-
something.
You're
that's-
right, because the other side of the
Town of
building,
Weare source.
going toward Lang Tots, there was no water in it at all.
Right.
It was
There's
bone
something
dry.
wrong there. But when you saw when they did that site, they put all the mud
Right.
and all the crap
I think
there.
that clay and stuff in
That's
the
not
bottom of
all.
that,
It's not allowing the soil to
So
percolate
the
that
official
water.
one
yeah.
They made a mess of that site.
is in this thing.
Yeah, I don't know who put that in, but
Whoever it was.
Try Google.
it's just weird that the other side had no water at all in it.
Yeah, I find it
Town of
strange that there's
Weare
so much
source
water
water
in that
protection
thing
plan.
all the time.
Yeah.
It should be percolating into the
Should be
soil.
going away.
Because there's no real outlet on that one, you know.
No, I know, there's no
It comes
outlet.
over the top and goes under the driveway down towards Lang Tots.
Yeah.
They have it kind of channeled, and there's a culvert underneath the driveway, and heads down to, and then it goes in the other culvert under the road.
But I saw, no,
Have to-
you didn't see any flowage there.
Nope.
No, that site is a mess.
Yeah.
It's not even, it's not on
The
the,
parking lot's gonna fall apart in a few years because it's so
Internet.
wet under there. It's just your typical
Yeah, I mean,
mess.
that whole first row of area where you can park there, that was all
That's
underwater. I mean, you could, I mean, I'm not
99%.
talking 6 inches, but there was probably 2 or
we
3
need
inches
the
there.
town aware source water protection plan. Do you have that, Naomi?
I have no idea, you got two conversations going on, what the heck?
The
are you
town aware source water protection plan. It's not on the internet, but that's what tells you where the aquifer district is.
doing? Oh, I have no idea what that
It's
is.
not on the zoning map. The NRI is showing that as an aquifer. I'm pretty sure we came through this before, so I mean, they're just missing that completely.
That, that's a substantial, that's a game changer. If,
Well, they could remedy that simply by leaving it gravel parking lot, right?
Is that what it is now?
Yeah, it's all gravel all around it,
Yeah.
yeah. There's no pavement unless they've done it since I came through
There's no
today.
pavement there.
Yeah.
But what about the next door? That's all pavement.
Yeah, well,
on the east side or the west side down below?
coming,
Up above,
Yeah.
coming,
that's all asphalt.
Not-
Yeah, I don't know,
I mean, it's neighbor property right there. And what's the size of that parking lot?
I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that either it was not missed or it happened. I mean, I don't know how old
Yeah.
that zoning is either, you know, but, and then there's, I think there is, if you refer to that, that article, yes, Article 29. So, I mean, it has language in there to be aware of. It's kind of bizarre that it, refers to this. There's a map called the Town of Weare Aquifer Transmissivity from 2009 that's in,
How big is the total lot size for this site?
it's a requirement, but
yeah, there it is. What's this minimum?
2.46 acres. Oh, sorry. Well, required, it says 2.56. It
Yeah.
says 2.46.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
it's just 10% impervious to infiltration, that's in the lot.
So 2.6 acres would be roughly 150,000 square feet, well, it's 43,560 per acre, so that'd be, 2 acres would be 87,000 square feet, so 2.5 acres would be about 100,000 square feet.
So they under 10,
So they
10,000?
could go up to 10,000 square feet of asphalt, and 10%, I don't know how much asphalt they've got there.
visually it looks like a lot.
Looks like a lot.
Yeah, but 10,000 square feet is a big area.
But you look at the lots, yeah, and it's hard to say, right, without just knowing what the polygon size are. Plus, it's not just the asphalt, it's the buildings,
No,
it's impervious. Otherwise, there's a conditional use permit. I think, did we get into this because the petroleum bulk terminal in the plant? There was some reason it came up, and I don't know how we caught it.
Yeah, what's that, industrial drive?
On B and B,
Yeah, we
down
did.
at the end,
Yeah.
yep.
That's where we've usually discussed it. This one on the north side of Concord Stage, I do not know as well.
Oh, where is it now?
Pardon? Where are we, where,
All right, I'm confused where we were. Forget it. It's actually not there.
this is
That's where the storage shed,
storage.
you know, the,
Yeah, you got that map again? I'm in the wrong place, sorry. For some reason I thought that was B and B we're looking at.
No.
yeah, that's in an aquifer district.
Yeah, that's-
That's why I questioned an aquifer district up there.
Yeah, I thought,
Doesn't seem likely.
looking at that, I thought it was B and B for a second. For more than a second.
Be up around that area.
So what is that?
The roads are hard to read. Might be south of where I put you.
So that's Eastman. Is Felch.
Yeah, that's Sugar Hill, so it's,
it's right below, a couple lots below Lufkin. You can find
Where's
Lufkin there.
Burnt? Is it this way?
yeah, so we're,
It's headed north from
what does this
Lufkin.
say?
Oh yeah, we're outside. Burnt, oh, it says Burnt Hill, this is.
Yeah, it's not too far from Burnt Hill.
Yeah, it's up the road from Burn Hill.
All right, no, yeah, there it is. Burn Hill Road comes in there. Yeah, so it's a little ways away from it. Looks like there's, I think they identified, that might be, I don't know what that one is. That's that big, the big wetlands down there. Yes, that's shown as aquifer, but not, yeah, it's not over to there. We're good, my bad.
No problem in that regard. The fundamental concern I have with what I see is that they're still, they still have a lot of impervious surface designed to go down to a detention pond and then through one outlet on that. So to me, it seems like you're concentrating the surface runoff, you're maximizing it because you're paved, and then you're concentrating it in one spot back here.
Yeah, well, guess what's right below them? The driveway to this place.
Right, which,
That's a typical detention pond, that's how they are.
then begs the question, well, what does your neighbor have to deal with the enhanced runoff?
You're hoping the detention pond will slow it down long enough to not
Let it
have
drain.
runoff like that.
Like I say, you're hoping your detention pond drains between
Just like
events,
you're hoping that all.
which
big
we know it doesn't, they don't always do.
Well, it's the same result as if you had a huge storm, you had sheet flow coming off the whole site going into your neighbor, it's the same water.
It's the same water, but instead of some coming down here, some coming down here, it's all
Right.
focused
But
in,
if it was sheet flow, it would all go unimpeded. The detention pond will capture it and slow it down and let the flow not be as violent. That's how it works.
if it has storage.
Has
If
to
it
have
has that
storage.
3 foot available, then there is a volume calculation you can do.
Yeah, and they
as a
should have
site
done
engineer to-
calculations on that. If they design that detention pond, somebody had to do calculations for that, because they don't just throw them in there haphazardly. It's a requirement to have detention ponds, so that they have to have them.
You have the storage
You,
place.
you have to have them on their plan, but do you have to have them function as intended?
Well, yeah,
So, do,
They should function as intended if they were designed correctly.
well, we just spoke about one that's plain invisible.
That one, I don't know how that one got through. We looked at that plan. I didn't see that big detention pond on that plan. And that site was a complete mess from day one.
Was working,
Wow.
the whole time they were
The
working
day,
on it.
the first day they started there, I shook my head and I said,
the storage place across from Langtops, that's all impervious, they've paved the whole thing.
That's all gravel. It's all run into the,
No, there's a detention pond in the corner, and that never fills.
No,
The water goes in and percolates off and it's
Which
gone.
is-
What it's supposed to do.
right, that's what.
I've seen a lot of them, that's the way they're supposed to do.
Right.
That one we
The
were
only
talking
one I've
about
seen
is
fail
just,
is the one that we were
Yeah.
talking about. I've never seen a detention pond fail.
yeah.
I mean, when they did Route 93, they had to make concessions. When they took some wetlands, they had to replace it with wetlands, and a lot of them were detention ponds. Not one of them ever really overflows.
Yeah.
They catch the water, the sediments filter out in it, and that's it. You know, I have mixed feelings about detention ponds. On a high, they're supposed to capture all of the oils and
the water coming off,
pollutants coming off the pavement,
off the
right?
pavement.
And you're supposed to combat that with certain types of plants in those detention ponds, but the only thing that grows is cattails. In New Hampshire, you're gonna get cattails. So my question was to one of the engineers once is, if you're concentrating all of these pollutants in one spot, what's gonna happen in 30 years? Are these gonna be
They'll be
Superfund
contaminated.
sites?
Yeah, contaminated.
Because now, you know, like one engineer said once, dilution is the solution to pollution, right?
Right,
You-
yep.
You spread it
Dilute
out.
it.
Well, if you're concentrating it, you're not spreading it out.
Hmm.
So, on one hand, we're trying so hard to keep sediment from going into places, but on the other hand, what's worse? Right?
Yeah.
So I've always said a properly designed grade and sheet flow and everything else, that's what was there naturally before you built anything there. Why do we have to have detention ponds? But someone along the way decided that every single site has to have a detention pond, or you've gotta have those big huge chambers underneath the parking lots that you see, if there's no room for it. But that's all concentrating that
All that
pollutant
pollutant.
there. And nobody can answer me how to solve that. How are we gonna solve that in 20, 30 years? It's just gonna be a new issue.
Well, supposedly you can clean out the detention ponds and you have to do maintenance on them.
Yes, but then technically that soil
Is
is
contaminated.
contaminated and
So
it
you
has
have
to
to
be
truck that
treated
to a
as such.
certain,
Correct.
probably.
It's called LRS
Yeah.
on highway, limited reuse soils. That soil's not allowed to leave the site. You can't transport it, you can't bring it somewhere else. All of the topsoil and everything that we strip along the sides of the road cannot be used anywhere but on the site. It cannot leave the right of way. They have to use it for embankments, berms, whatever. But what are we doing? On every single highway, road, parking lot, commercial place, we're concentrating all the pollutants in one spot.
What specific pollutants are your,
Well,
What, you-
petrochemicals, all of the
oils and stuff
gases
out of your,
that run off the roads when it rains, right?
all the cars that are leaking oil and gas. and-
All
the neat thing about the oil and gas, most of them, you get away from things like transformer oil and PCBs, which is a different story. But most vehicles driving down the road are not dripping
No.
PCBs.
No.
It's petroleum.
It's petrol.
It's
rubber
refined
tires that
and-
wears out
and
the asphalt and everything.
The amazing thing with petroleum, maybe it's not too surprising though, it's, biologically, there are a lot of bugs, not insects, but
Right.
bacteria, that use it as a food source and
Right.
metabolize it. So it'd be hard pressed in a typical parking lot, 10, 20, 30 years of use, to go and collect a sample of that silt. Presumably it dries out,
Yeah.
there's grass or plants growing there. You'd be hard pressed to actually go and take a sample of that and detect anything, never mind
Right.
busting our petroleum standards that we have. And I see it all the time professionally near the gas stations, near the pumps that have leaked, the tanks that have leaked, or even, sometimes there's just a surface spill accident.
So why do they make such a big fuss about spills then?
What, when all the little ducks are covered with oil?
No, that's bad. But you know as well as I do, if you spill a gallon of diesel fuel on the ground, you've committed a serious crime where they make fertilizer out of diesel fuel. And we spread that all over the ground. But yet if you spill a few gallons on the ground, you gotta
More-
call Clean Harbors and spend $200,000 to clean up that spot. Well, if the ground takes, and the bugs take care of it, why are we doing that?
What bugs eat?
Microbes and bacteria.
Yeah, it's actually on the bacteria level.
Yeah.
And I say maybe it's not surprising, because the theory is the oil originally came from
The ground.
decomposition of
Bugs.
bacterial algal growth under the appropriate geologic conditions with burial and all this stuff.
So
Algae
then
grows
why
in
would the
diesel fuel.
DES be so concerned about LRS soils along the roads then? Because what other contaminants can there be along an entire highway system?
Stuff from tires is actually pretty bad. I think it kills, fish.
Well, I know brake pads had copper in it, and that, they've outlawed using copper within brake pads. Because the brake dust from your car going down the road was contaminating surface water.
And there had been quite a signature from
Yeah.
leaded gasoline in that surprisingly, it was limited, and its proximity to the roadways was substantial from the studies I heard. So even that could be legacy, and, lead is not something metabolized, So metals, sometimes arsenic gets to be a concern. It's not associated with the traffic, but pesticides can linger for quite a bit longer. But your basic gasoline, engine oil, hydraulic fluid, diesel fuel, we overreact on it. We overregulate on it. Because in the vast majority of situations, frankly, it's hard to make a long area of contamination because it is fairly readily consumed.
Yeah.
So I'm not advocating for the old, drop the oil in the
No.
trench sort of thing, or even oil the roads. But if it was not actually part of the in the biological system and actually considered a energy resource even for those microbes, we'd have a very different scenario, a very different planet. So it's amazing how active and cleaning, a little bit of soil and a little bit of vegetation helps too, because the plants, they play a role that's amazing in their moderating that very thin area of activity. So I've conceptually, I struggle with that. Well, where did the tires wear out?
Yeah.
But you never see,
That's
rubber
true.
crumble along the side of the does
That goes somewhere.
does it go, in the air or is it,
It has to go,
see,
I don't know. I've
maybe,
thought of it.
maybe racetracks, they wear them out so quick there that maybe that's where you'd find out what the answer is, but it's good.
It must wash
Good
off
point.
though, because you see kids that have, spun their tires all over the road and the roads are all black. And a season goes by and all that black's gone.
Yeah. But it goes somewhere.
It's going on, it's gotta be running off into the ground.
Yeah. Maybe it's got enough petroleum product in it that the microbes take care of most of it, hopefully. I don't know. What's the
Yeah,
compound?
not sure.
Natural, rubber is a natural thing, but they don't use that much of it.
Yeah, it gets, it gets, these days especially, old days, things wore out more quickly, and I think it'd probably be hard to find an inner tube from 1920. I think there would be natural decay on it, but with the chemical world we live in now, they perform a lot better, and maybe in 50 years, there'll be some class action on all those tires that we've been subjected to. But man, it's nice to be able to go somewhere and have them just keep working.
Yep.
Even my dad remembers in the 40s, it's like, you're driving Nova Scotia, you better have like 3 sets of, not tires, but new
New spares,
tubes, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Because, they just didn't have the wear capability and the length of use they do now, which is amazing. Any comments? We've kind of circled around a few different things here, but any comments from the Conservation Commission on this site plan?
It looks like they addressed our only comment from last time, so, regarding that wetland,
Yeah, if you could,
the ditch there, so, we're good.
Yeah.
after all that, we're gonna provide no comment?
No comment.
All right.
I always thought, originally when I saw the plan, I thought that they tried very hard to do a good job. They weren't trying to, you see some obvious things that people try to do sometimes, and that looks fun.
All right. Done with gutter done. Any forestry items, Steve? You mentioned, and I threw it in there, the Farron Pond access. Where did that request come in from? And maybe you could just lay it out for the record.
Kevin Bronson texted me asking if we had any plans on clearing the road, because they wanted to go up there and stalk.
Wow, they wouldn't get in there with a truck.
Oh, they do it on ATV. Can't even get in there on ATV.
No, they got the rocks all the way across.
Well,
It's a bunch of woodland across it. They can get around the gate, I think, with the ATV.
well, for legitimate purposes, the idea is you open the gate.
Yeah, you can open it. Well, I don't know if Kevin, I think we gave him the combo, but I'm not sure.
But just being in the woods a little bit today, never mind the fact that it's been years since we've cleared that access road. I can imagine there'd be a bit of a project to make it passable, but it's just imagining. I haven't been out there, I haven't looked at it.
Could some of those people that were willing to volunteer on stuff help out with that?
It's pretty
They're-
rutted up and washed out.
So it's
There's
washed out.
a lot of ways to
Down,
look.
it's real steep.
Okay.
Oh, it got washed out too?
It was the last time I was up there.
Could be that too.
That would be the problem.
I haven't been up there
As,
since.
It's
as
the
land managers, we've kind of, we got conflicting interests here. You make a road and you keep it accessible in good condition, well, folks wanna use it. To speed on to where they're going, regardless of the gates.
Yeah.
So, you know, when that road, I'm not sure whether it's original, but at some point that road was a well-traveled way to get up to the lake, and people were taking campers in there, they're taking boats in there, and it became, from what Steve and I heard very early on when we joined the commission, it became quite a problem.
So if it was improved even as a little trail, it would be used as a little trail and it would be a problem again.
No, so remember we got into the history of this thing, it was under the Access to Public Waters program. The road was acquired by the state.
We did a bunch of research on that, that's right.
Gordon Russell, at the time of the Conservation Commission, because of the use up there, pushed the state to shut it down. So that's like one of the only access to public waters that shut down, and then it becomes murky from there. Fish and Game said they gave it to us, but we don't have, there's no deed that shows the Fish and Game gave that to us. So, but that's access to public waters, that's how so that road was punched in there. You know, it's not a historic road.
Well, that road was there in the sixties.
Yeah, that's when that program, yeah, Access to Public Water is a pretty old program.
What I
What
see
did-
up there, though, they go in there, they will hike in with their coolers. I was there last summer floating around in the pond on a seat thing. And 3 guys and a girl came in and they were all drinking and they were throwing their beer bottles down. You could hear them breaking. I was out in the middle of the lake.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go out that way. I went out off the back side, but, yeah.
What does Kevin wanna do?
Stock, trout.
Oh,
So
You can
is there
hike
any
up
way
there.
they could cart it, is it a long road, they couldn't cart it in on a big,
It's just steep. It's
They're
not
not gonna
long,
do that.
but
No, I mean, they won't stock it if they can't get up there.
they probably could get in with a four-wheeler. They stayed to one side or the other.
He didn't wanna tear it up. I mean, the woods that storm knocked a lot of stuff down, and then that 30-inch snowstorm knocked a bunch more down.
Yeah, I haven't been up this spring at all, so I don't know. I haven't been up.
So, I mean, if we wanna cut it open, we authorize some money and either ask Meadowson or ask, Gary Wilson if they wanna do it.
would a lot of people go there and fish if it was, do they do now, if it was stocked?
I haven't seen anybody up there fishing for years,
a lot of kids party, you know.
but a lot of partying.
That's not what you want out there.
And I can tell you, I only go up 2 or 3 times a year probably, but when I'm up there,
It was very nice about 20 years ago when we walked
it
out there.
still is, as long as you don't go pick the glass up. You
Yeah.
don't wanna go up barefooted, I know that.
Yeah, I didn't see any problems at all last time I went up there. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was, last fall or, look for my dog pictures there. Really got a picture of him.
Somebody
sitting
may
in
have
front of the pond.
cleaned up that glass, but I didn't wanna go out that way, not with that crew.
See, that's the two-edged sword. You're trying to make a nice place for people to walk and use, and when you do, it gives access to everybody else that don't care.
That's right.
How do you
That's why
deal
you're
with it?
out picking up blue bags full of garbage on the
Right.
side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here it is right, so I was up there January 2nd. Wasn't that bad then.
Well, you probably wouldn't have seen the glass and stuff.
Yeah, it was wide open, there's no snow. There's the dog sitting right there. Canoe right there. Somebody must have picked it up, there was nothing up there at all.
Right there. It was right there where you come up over the hills. They were right there on the beach, that
Just
little beach
another,
area.
yeah, there's another canoe, yeah, that's right where I am with the dog, there's nothing there. Another junk canoe is up there, but. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. So, I mean, it wasn't like ridiculously bad then.
Any idea their window on stocking?
A couple days ago. When I got the text.
every few years, we've had the question over the last 15 or so. And the sense has been that they used to stock it regularly, and they basically quit because they didn't
Maintain the road.
have that access. Yeah,
Oh, it's on the list.
right.
Yeah.
As far as the benefit of stocking versus not, I don't fish these days, so I don't have much an idea. What they would stock, how many,
Yeah.
what the sort of natural regeneration is up there without it. Don't know.
None,
None?
no way. I think there's bass in there. Hammer the heck out of anything. I don't know, there's not really a stream to spawn either.
So then the question is that A-okay? Does that sound like proper management?
We don't own it, they do. The pond itself. I mean, Fish and Game makes us this, I mean, Mount William Pond would probably be a bass pond if Fish and Game didn't stock it. Almost every trout stream in southern New Hampshire's dead, so it's like,
It's overused.
no, it's just water quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, trout are super sensitive.
I don't think the fish ladder at Amoskeag ever worked out for the salmon either, did it?
I don't
They
know.
tried.
Yeah, that was a big fail. As far as the salmon goes, there's the shad.
I don't think it's shad doing that good in there either.
Yeah.
I was reading some of they're just coming up, some river, I forget where I was reading about. Anyhow, so do you wanna spend any money on that or not?
It's a tough one. I have no idea what would be necessary to make that available.
Probably,
Well, I think before you make a decision, you really wanna walk up in there and take a look at it. Wouldn't you?
I don't, and I know it's a half-mile of road, and just clearing blowdowns is gonna take, I could go up there with a chainsaw and do it in a day or two, it's not, so I mean, that's what I would just guess. Cause we're not asking to take anything out of there. If you had a little farm tractor, you could, a chainsaw, you could do that quick, four-wheel drive tractor. I mean, think about like what we're paying for,
Spam calls.
clearing out that driveway and, the field and stuff.
Right.
It's-
I mean, there's no way it's more than $1,000,
Is it?
probably less than
Sand.
that.
If I knew
And
how
that's
to shut
just
it
the
off, I
access
would,
up
but I
to
don't.
the pond, the little beach,
Yeah.
where the old canoe is.
Then I
that's what
forget to
they're
put it
looking at.
back on.
Yeah, just the road, yeah.
So do you think they'd be able to get out there with a four-wheeler without any,
Yeah,
or
I
with
know.
a drown?
My phone too, but I don't
Easily.
remember
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
to
I think if they
access
stay on
it.
not through the middle, but on either side. 'Cause through the middle, it was pretty washed out the last time I went up the front way.
2 hours.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything that bad. I mean, we had some water bars in there, but I don't know. It was January, it's wide open. I thought we did some work to that road at one point. Anyhow, you can get a four-wheeler up there with no problem if you cut the trees,
Where do you go in from there?
the gate.
Where's the gate?
Is that
Not
on
too-
School Road?
Not too far in.
I think so.
You know where
It's
the power
by
lines
power
are?
lines,
You go right down that,
that dirt
to the
road.
left, stay to the left, because the road splits right there.
Where are we on, 149?
Yeah, go up
Yeah, go-
149,
Nine.
Mountain Road,
Yeah,
go all the way up, and then
right at
the
the
power
corner,
lines
it's
cross.
right at the corner, there's a right-hand turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stay to the left when you turn off on the dirt
Yeah.
road, the left one, because the right one will bring you back
It's where they
down
used
onto
to mud
Sawyer
bog
Road and
there.
back
Trucks
around
were mud
onto
bogging down in
149.
Oh,
I
there.
bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, years ago. Remember watching guys there right up to the doors.
Well, under the power lines, that
Yeah,
wetland?
under the
Yeah,
power lines.
Yeah, it's a big wetland there. Yeah. Yeah, so right there, there's a road going right up to the pond. Probably about a half mile long.
So the outlet from Farron comes down through and it crosses underneath that road, a lot of times over the road because it gets plugged, but it ends up in that big meadow to the left, if you keep going.
Anybody want a motion, some form of expenditure to assess
just-
and do within limits, or suggestions for other approaches to it, or just let it be?
Don't we want an assessment of it first?
You're gonna punt it to the next meeting, which is beyond the stocking window if you do that.
Yeah,
Really
but
don't.
Meadows End isn't gonna jump on getting that done for him.
Not in
I wouldn't call Meadowson for this.
It's too small for them anyway.
Okay.
I'd call Gary first to see if they're interested, or see if there's anybody else local. They seem like they always got good prices.
Yeah.
You're talking Gary Wilson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they'd be interested. I mean, that seems like it's a pretty easy project for a person with a tractor and
Yeah.
chainsaw.
My only opinion is really that I do have interest in keeping, it's a really nice trail system up there. And just if we can get some maintenance every once in a while out there, just for the town folks, it's a nice hike and nice quiet pond, and you could consider this some sort of trail maintenance for other purposes too, besides stocking the pond.
Good
We have a
point.
dollar figure that you would,
Up to 1,000? I would hope it wouldn't be over that.
Yeah, I would think it wouldn't be anywhere, you know. I would think that'd be unlikely, but nowadays you never know, I guess. Kinda hoping lower, but
yeah. Gotta put a number on it. I got no clue what someone would charge to do that.
Well, they got a day in it, minimum.
Most people have at least $1,000 minimum now.
yeah, they don't. They do that field for a lot less than that.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was thinking, you know,
Yeah.
something
Well,
small,
they
look
might
like
go
that.
for, maybe 500, I don't know.
Yeah, it might. I mean, I think it's reasonable to say up to 1,000. What's the town purchasing policy?
25,
Yeah, so we're good there. So if we can get it done now for under 1,000, well, let's do it, and if not, reconvene. Out of conservation?
Would they be trying to fill in a couple of little washouts and stuff along the way, or just
I
make their
doubt
way
it.
through the trees? And
I would just ask them to clear it so you can get, you know, so you can walk up there and get a UTV up there. Any bigger kind of stuff, you're looking at, you know, maybe designing something with, you know, and get in with a mini excavator, reestablish any of the water bars that are gone, if they are gone. It's not jumping out in my head, that was, so, I mean, it was really bad years ago. We did a bunch of work after that logging job, but I don't know.
You wanna put a motion forward and,
Sounds like Steve just made one.
yeah, I'll second that
Do you
motion.
agree with
I
that
think Sherry,
conclusion?
someone else started it, but, yeah, just kinda walking along, but yeah, that's good.
I'll second that motion.
Well, hang on, that needs to be,
Yeah.
so we got, I would say the chair is essentially authorized to, and the chair is authorized to implement that agreement or contract immediately,
Up to $8,000
yeah.
for the maintenance of the
Just for clearing that
Ferrum
road.
Pond, yeah,
Yeah.
for maintenance on the
Road,
Ferrum
Ferrum,
Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean specifically
Yeah.
clearing the road, yeah.
Yep. I'll second that motion.
Any further thoughts on the matter? There being none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor.
So do you wanna call him, you want me to call him and ask him to
I
call
would-
you with a quote?
No, I'd prefer to maintain you as the point of contact.
Okay.
Okay. Under land management items, I throw in Mark's mention of ATVs running amok in the Wood Family Forest. On snowmobile trails, or on the snowmobile trail.
That's coming not on the snowmobile, I think they're hooking up to it, but it's coming from out of that picture. There's a trail that would be headed on the north side, coming out of there and probably getting up to Mount Williams.
Yeah.
Where from there, I couldn't tell you.
Right.
Could you put a game camera up there somewhere? Figure out who it is, maybe?
Probably could.
I mean, I don't think that's the only way you're gonna catch them, unless you wanna sit
Yeah.
out there for hours on end in the black
No.
eyes.
Well, I mean, typically, we can't do that anyhow. I mean, it's a fish and game thing.
Yeah, that was my question, who polices it, who do we tell?
Well, if it's on the
What's
Witch
our role?
property,
So the best thing in the world is for the general public, or who's ever concerned with that kind of activity, as they see it, to immediately call Fish and Game. So if there's a conservation officer in the area, they can come check them out and write them. It does no good to email us, and, you know, it's nice to know about it,
Yep.
but,
yeah.
I mean, that's like the best thing you can possibly do if you really wanna, unless it's like a real, you know, like, if Kevin goes and sits out at Farron Pond all day, he's gonna get 10 people, you know? I think, you know, I think we've asked like the previous CO to do that. You know, on that email, I was gonna ask, have we got that official conservation email? Cause I really think we should be like responding to these people and say thank you from, you know, whoever does email something like that. 'Cause I know we talked about setting that up.
When did that one come in, Mark?
Oh.
It was
That
like
must
a
be
week
a week
ago.
or more ago now. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's at least.
There was something about the gate too, right? The gate been busted.
6 days ago,
Yeah, gate's not locked or something.
which I don't understand, there's 2 locks on it, and I don't know why it's not locked.
Who's responsible for the gate?
Us.
It's a conservation gate,
Okay.
but we have a key to it, or we have one of our locks on it.
Right, 'cause you use
Club
it,
does?
that's
Yeah.
part of the
Use it for the trail.
snowmobile trail.
Used to use it for the trail, now it's only for maintenance access.
Oh,
We did the bypass around, we don't go through that gate anymore. But on occasion, we've had to get through
yeah.
for maintenance. When we put that bridge in, that's how we came in. But I see the chain here and I don't understand. Like I said, there's 2 locks and looks like one of them's been bent, someone's tried to cut it.
It's amazing how many emails.
And the conservation used to have padlocks on it. I mean, combination locks, and there's no combination lock there.
Oh, do we know, yeah, did someone rip that off there and throw their own lock on it? Was that what was going on?
Yeah,
I seem to remember something happened down there.
well, they tried to push the gate down, I remember we went and fixed it, because
Yeah.
it was bent like a U.
Yeah, I remember that.
We went down and fixed it, and, but there should be a snowmobile lock, and it was double locked. It was conservation lock and then snowmobile lock.
Yep,
And now, as you can see the picture, it's only just 2 locks hanging on it, it's wrapped around the, and the pin's missing, there used to be the pin.
yeah, cause somebody got that lock off there and threw the pin away on us.
Yeah,
We can get another pin from Jeremy, whoever he had make that gate.
Is that part of Ralph's jurisdiction?
yes.
Or if he knows what we need, like, we can make a pin, he just built the gate, did you see the pictures of the gate?
Yes,
we
I
built?
went up and looked at it.
It's a nice one,
Yeah, it is.
spent all Sunday making that.
It was just a pin,
We can make a new pin.
and they had the hole in it, to put the padlock in the bottom.
Yeah, and we just get another combo lock off Jeremy.
Yeah.
Or,
Just have Ralph get
Yeah,
the
just
size
get a
of
pin
it,
and
we got
hold
pins
lock.
Yeah.
that size at the shop.
I feel like that lock was just replaced a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think it was. Well, was it replaced when you guys fixed the gate? Was the pin there or was
No, the pin was there then, that's why the gate didn't open, was the pin was there.
it? Yeah,
I don't know when they logged it,
No, it could be the
that was a
logging.
while ago.
yeah, but I don't know if that's the change with the logging, when that pin, I can't remember. Cause we were working on that gate before they logged,
Oh, you did, yeah.
yeah.
So you guys gonna take care of that, or
Yeah, we can take care of that.
we just have to turn in a slip right for the, if you get, gonna get a combo lock or something for it too?
Well, once you get whatever locks you use, combination lock, you can get us a lock,
Yeah, Jeremy was doing that.
Okay.
Unless we just wanna email Jer.
yeah, because we got a key lock on it.
That's Jer. You wanna see if he's got any pins before you mess around with it?
We got miles of material at the
Okay.
shop to make a pin, that's nothing. It's easier just to pull it out of the thing and make one rather than hunt around for something. It looks like probably 3/4 or 1 inch,
You know, it was like 1 inch.
but we have plenty.
Just put a T on the top,
Yep.
drill the hole in the bottom.
Question for you, Naomi. Do I need to schedule or make an appointment with IT or somebody here in order to,
Beth was helping everybody.
so what do I need to do to be able to use conservation chair
You should have a
email?
password set up so that she gives you the password, then you have to change your password. So that you get it. Mrs. Selectman had to do that as well.
So I should follow up with Beth
Yeah,
on that.
'cause he set it all up with everybody having a different password, but then you go on and he doesn't want everybody's password, so you just go and create your own password. And it works well, because Salem uses it quite a bit, and when it comes back to me, it is at sbloom@weare.nh.gov. So no one's looking at your email, but it's set up that you have access to a kiosk. But, he did it all through one person, and so that's why I was having everybody go through that. She's not here on Thursday, so you have to wait till Friday now. She's here every day but Thursday, and then you
Mhm.
might wanna do it sooner than later, cause she's on vacation next week. So if you can remember to do it Friday,
Yeah,
just give her a call and she can walk you through it.
thank you.
And you can start replying and you can copy, to my understanding, is your group email still works.
So I'll still get his email,
If he includes it as a carbon to the conservation.
conservation, yeah.
Right.
All right, I'll check in with her.
Yeah, she's not here tomorrow, we have to do it Friday morning. She's here at 7, Friday morning.
Okay,
We're here 7:05.
thank you. So we all set with the different levels of response to the complaint, or to the note, or,
Mm.
yeah. So you guys are gonna work on the physical stuff?
Yep.
With a lock, combo lock, again, Jeremy or one of his minions. I'm gonna get squared away with Beth so I can respond in a more appropriate manner using a town email.
So gonna contact Fish and Game?
Uh,
I don't know.
At
if they're doing
this-
good. They're so understaffed, I mean, how the heck do you gonna? I mean, that would be the logical thing to do, they're the ones that are gonna enforce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether trying to make Chris aware of,
Kevin?
oh, sorry, yes.
I would just let them know that we're having some trouble with them accessing the snowmobile trail.
Because Chris doesn't probably want them on his
No,
land either.
he does not.
So,
And they're not getting onto the Woods property. Are they on the Woods property too?
Well, yeah, they're coming out through the woods and then going up Mount Williams.
Yeah.
The pictures he got, I know exactly where that picture is that he sent.
do you think it's the same people that was giving us trouble when, on Bucky's land?
No,
No, not the same thing?
no, it's coming from the other northern end. I don't know who's up there.
If there's a divine trail coming back to somebody's house, you
Yes.
know, that's the easy thing to
Yep.
pick off.
And it would be, because it accesses in the wintertime too. They come in through the woods there, to gain access to the snowmobile trail.
Probably a family.
The what?
It's probably a family.
Yeah,
Probably a wood family.
Well, as soon as we find out about the road, because, well, I'll shoot him a text tomorrow or something, just
Yep.
let him know we talked about it. We'll just let him know, general area, what's going on with that.
do the woods live, does one of the woods lives up in that woods area?
Who's on top of the hill?
How does the access, how do you get up there? Through Knox Road?
To the house by driving a car.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Yeah. You go to the end, and before you get to the very end was Hazelwood's house.
Yeah.
And then there's two to the right that are brand new.
Okay.
This Hazelwood's is now owned by David Newrock. One driveway before that goes up and up.
okay, because it shows it in the Google, there's a house up back there.
There's a log home and
Yeah.
12 or 13 acres,
Okay.
which was Mrs.
Woods.
Wood's son.
Yeah.
Now the grandson lives there.
That's
Well, we'll
probably
see.
where that's coming from.
Yeah, we'll see if we, you know, just see if Kevin won't have time to figure it
Yeah.
out or whatever.
They're avid hunters, they're.
Yeah. Snowmobilers, ATV.
Yeah.
So technically, they can access it with the snowmobile in the winter, no
Yes.
problem, but not with
Not,
ATVs.
not with ATV.
I think for the purpose of this discussion, it's getting a little uncomfortable, because we don't really know who, you know,
Yep.
just, I
No, I
would,
don't know.
no, just, I would just,
Probably could
let
be-
Kevin go, see what he
Yep.
can figure out. He's got time.
I would forward them those pictures and you have them, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
well, I mean, that's just near the gate, right?
No, that's up towards where the old log landing is. It's on the left-hand side, comes out of the woods and goes up.
Oh, I get it. So it's coming off, so when you're going north, it's coming off the west?
Yes.
No,
Well, if you're headed east, it's the north side.
no, if you're going north on the road, it's on the west side of the road where it's coming from?
Yeah, it'd be on that side of the road. If you're headed up towards Mount Williams,
Yeah,
it's on that side of
it's
the road.
on the west side.
Yeah,
I got you. Yeah, that's helpful.
The left side, right?
left side. Driver's
When
side.
you're doing this,
It's
and
the
you're
driver's
sitting
side.
there, and I'm.
No, it's the driver's side.
When you go, yeah, when you're going north, it's on the west side of the road.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there were, sometimes you can kick a picture in like EXF and see if it has a GPS on it or not.
Anybody know anything about additional volunteer contacts or folks interested in membership? Anybody turn in papers?
They never came in.
Okay.
They
Hey,
talked to you.
Sorry. Before we jump onto that
Yeah.
and land management stuff, when we had that meeting, the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen, we were gonna deal with the, agreement for maintenance of the, fields. And
Yeah.
so,
On East Street, East Road.
yeah, the banks, whatever we're calling
Thanks.
it, Schmidt. We could just email Laura to draft something up? She had, remember like when we were looking at login, she had some samples from other towns, or we could ask Meadowson, one or the other, to draft something up.
Yeah, before I contact town council, I have to ask the board.
You do? So can we go direct and spend our own money if we wanted to like not deal with that? Cause it just seems like sloppy, kinda slow to do that. Probably could, couldn't we? For agents to expand conservation.
The town has a legal budget. Should be the right thing to do, is if you're gonna have a contract, it's gonna be the select. It should be their attorney that does it.
Remember there was a couple of years where we were billing back to conservation for using them, then that stopped.
That was a long time ago,
It was a long time ago.
yeah.
Things go in a big circle, though.
I've heard that.
So I guess that would be a question, right? If we're willing to pay out of conservation for council using Laura,
But the agreement is signed by the board, right? So why would you spend your money?
Yeah.
oh, I guess. Well, if there's a limit, I mean, and they're worried about it,
Just asking.
to expedite it and not wait a month.
I mean, I don't mind asking, we're meeting weekly anyway.
It's like the pace of getting stuff done is a little frustrating. Not quite on par with my work, but
No, it is frustrating. It seems like everything keeps getting kicked down the road.
I don't have a problem asking, because we did find contact information for the guy that's doing the hay now.
yeah, good.
I know where he lives, I have his phone number, trying to get his email address. Because we still have to iron out, which we never did, the Forester contract with Jeremy, you guys all looked at it, you never signed it, and I gotta change it for another year. Remember you guys were back at?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we never signed it.
Oh, we never did?
Another year's come and go, just like Andy being sworn in.
Oh, did that happen today? I thought it just did that a year ago.
No, we never.
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Jeremy made changes, Laura okayed them, you okayed them, we've never connected. We have to. Technically, we should.
So to keep it moving, instead, what if we ask Meadowson to develop the agreement for review at our next meeting and then send it to council for review? That make sense?
Does he have time to do it in between? Because your next meeting's not till June
Yeah, so I'm saying if Jer has like a canned agreement, I can,
14th is your next meeting. It's second Wednesday is June 14th.
sounds like bike week.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
If he has come across one,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just as simple, it doesn't have to be 25 pages long.
no, it probably costs a half hour to ask him, so
If he's
I
got
don't
one,
just go ask
he
him.
might be familiar with it, but he could ship it over and we can have it looked at, I don't mind asking to have it looked at, sure.
Okay, so everyone good with just asking if they got one? And then you can ask if we are allowed to go to town council without going
Yeah,
to
but
select.
if he has some outline, he's still filling everybody's name, so.
But we're in agreement that the conclusion of our discussion with the selectmen, one was a request from the chair, basically to frame it, scope it out, get the, come up with the language that would be appropriate, and then come back to the selectmen with, this is what we propose. Does it pass your muster?
Well, that's what I'm saying, I thought when you left, you were gonna craft it, we were gonna look at it, and then I think it's our obligation to send it and now look at it.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Basically, you were gonna do leg one. and we were
Which
gonna
is
do
what we're doing now.
Yeah.
so leg one is right now, I was saying either ask Laura if she's already got one, cause she had a forestry one, so I don't know if she's got a field maintenance one, who knows, cause she deals with multiple towns. And then, but because we can't just go ask her, then might as well just ask Jeremy if he's got one.
If he doesn't, just let him have, just tell me that he doesn't, we can, I mean, we've got some different contracts to do with, lawn care, cemeteries, we've got custodial
Right.
services, there's a lot of different ones we have.
So our real specific concern and problem was contamination.
Which he's using all organic, I already had talked with him, but it's fine.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but you can,
There's nothing.
you can get what comes off the treatment plants organic. It is certified organic, so that's not, does not mean it is without the PFAS in it,
Yeah,
so.
or anything else. All right, so we're good with emailing Jared to see if he's going?
Yeah, that's a,
So if he doesn't have one, just tell him to give me a shout.
Okay. Someone else.
You can start with him, and we probably could modify one or the other one.
But that brings up the, hey, we need to be contractually squared away with him. So there's a more of a, not a discussion, but a point that we need to update and actually get that to the point we have signatures on it, running for a certain term, and actually be able to pop up or pull out the contract, say, yeah, this is a contract we have with our,
And we could never
Forester.
find one. We've never been able to find one.
maybe my driveway
So
shed.
you can ask him first?
Yeah.
And then have him let me know if he doesn't?
Yeah, CCing everybody, yeah.
We could make Plan B work.
Be a contract or an agreement, I guess, either way.
One and the same, right?
Kind of.
All right, so we didn't have any mail from the state, right? Or did, maybe, did we even check the mailbox today?
No,
I didn't check it. It was empty, okay,
Yeah, I think, I mean, either they're way overwhelmed or,
right,
you know, things are slowed down, I don't know.
right. Cycles,
If you saw something today, you'll get a letter eventually.
right. Minutes, did you, or are you able to put something together from that joint meeting? So that we can pass that along, Mike?
Yes.
The only minutes I found from you, Mike, was May 11th.
I did May, I didn't do,
Right. The other ones-
No, March.
The other ones I took, but it
or
was.
March, yes. I didn't take notes during the actual meeting itself.
The joint meeting, we took notes.
Right.
So do we just
Yeah, we
throw in a note for
Notes.
conservation minutes, you know, see Board of Selectmen sort of thing, or do we just leave that as a, all
You guys were in attendance and you introduced everybody and you're all on the same list.
right, that's not needed. Okay,
That was for your April, but your April, the agenda just said that you were meeting jointly with the Board of Selectmen, so if you think your paperwork needs to say, see Board of Selectmen minutes, you can, or,
We just did the, we have to do the election.
and, yeah, annual meeting considerations,
meeting.
Yeah, I'll put something together for that, that'll be.
3 lines, 2 lines, 1 line? It'll be pretty brief.
The motion and.
Yeah, we ought to show
Second.
that we had no changes to the bylaws and that we re-upped the officer slate. I guess those are the only,
Yeah, was that?
all right. Doesn't seem like we have other business, but last call.
What's the latest on the asbestos at Barton?
I was just thinking this,
yeah, I haven't had a chance to.
figure out what to say.
I mean, Mike sent me the list of contractors, but I'm trying to, I got a little blurb about it, but I haven't really seen the report. So how do I say, we need some asbestos abatement, they don't wanna see the report, it's how much, right, before they can tell me price.
Oh, we don't have it yet.
I've tried to get the report, I can call them, I have one email.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
had email Mike
Was-
Christian, so.
Was that the
Most of
one,
that's been pretty smooth though, but it does get hung up on the other end,
Yeah.
because it's all of a sudden now it's no first dot anymore. It's just Weare.nh.gov, instead of Weare.nh.gov. So some stuff is really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're now Weare.nh.gov.
I didn't notice that.
So the people that came and did the testing didn't give you any report, but did they get
He
paid?
gave me a
for it?
brief report,
Oh.
but I don't have a full one, and then my intention was to take the full one. Mike provided me a name and email.
So that's wrong,
I think that is what we were just told, yeah.
Right.
But I don't know what this work is, other than
Huh.
where it came, where the asbestos showed up. I don't know.
That was just
how
changed?
findings are-
Hmm.
So I can track it, I'll try to track them down again. Thursdays isn't a bad day. Thursday seems to be a little quiet.
So the conservation email changed?
Everybody said,
Oh,
When was that?
we did migration a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
so what happens when you send one to weare.nh.gov? Nothing?
Where.nh.gov is still being forwarded for a period of time.
Oh, good, because that's what I've been
And
CCing.
what will
on
happen
these
is people should be getting the new email,
emails. Okay,
so,
yeah, it came through.
yeah.
Um,
Still working.
It's gonna for a little while.
Can we,
That doesn't belong to us, where.nh.gov does not belong to us.
So weare.nh.gov.
Yes, no first dot.
Wow.
can you update our, the letterhead you used for the agenda? So that the next agenda shows.
Should've put a G on meeting.
Well, I'm not worrying about that.
Instead of Lang.
I got a Lang too,
Yeah,
so.
no, we have to change, I mean, we're just getting, trying to get used to it.
Yeah,
We're gonna work our bugs out.
yep. All right. Anything else? There being none, do I hear that motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, motion to adjourn at 8:55, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adjourned at 8:55, all in favor.
Oh, Naomi, should I be doing